Allergy and Asthma Center of Western Colorado. This is the Pollen Outlook, something you look forward to, I know, every day, at least during the afternoon and evening hours. Trees on the decline, grass, mold on the increase. Weeds haven't made an appearance yet. But I'll say this. Our pattern in June, with the temperatures being mild and close to normal and winds being breezy and the added increases of moisture, rain showers almost every day, we should see grasses and mold jumping even higher. So that's probably going to be an agitator for you moving forward. All right, live tower cam. This is from earlier this afternoon. This is right around 6:20, 6:30. Partly cloudy skies, a little bit of sunshine popping through. You can see that windsock up on St. Mary's Hospital, just kind of breezing in the wind. Not too shabby. We did have some darker skies earlier. Temperatures at the recording for this web weather, mid-70s at Grand Junction and Montrose, 80 degrees at Delta. Officially, high temperatures of the day, well, Grand Junction should be 86 this time of the year. Montrose should be 82 this time of the year. Again, no complaints. This time last year, we were hot. We were in the hot category with 90-degree readings. I believe we already hit triple digits this time last year. Not the case this year. Very different weather pattern. That's going to continue through at least the next 10 days with rain shower opportunities each and every afternoon and temperatures maintaining mild conditions. Now, you'll notice the difference between today's high temperatures and the forecasted temperatures for tomorrow. Significantly lower tomorrow afternoon, so that's a good indication that the rain pattern is going to begin earlier in the day and last longer. We'll never really have time to heat up, so with more clouds and more rain opportunities, we should see that come to fruition. Now, at this time, we had some breezy conditions from Moab all the way through Glenwood Springs, 15 to 25 miles per hour. Top wind gusts of the day in Moab in the 40-mile-per-hour zone due to storms in the area. For the Tri-County area, we're talking 20 to 30-mile-per-hour top gusts, and those also storm associated. We will continue with that tomorrow. Nothing official registered that it actually rained today, but when you look at the green colorations and the yellows, those were actual rain on the ground. Those are some of the heavier radar returns. You can't avoid that. The blue, you could argue, no rain there. Dark clouds, that's just about it. Most of the rain had fallen up on the Uncompahgre. You see right there at the Mesa County, Delta County line up on the Grand Mesa. And you could see probably portions of the Dominguez Escalante picking up some rain as well. Now, Glade Park did really well yesterday, did really well today. This is just a couple hours back on radar. We had some storms moving through. This is, again, you can see the timestamp. Still storms on the Uncompahgre, drifting north-northeast over the Grand Valley, the west end. Not much. Fruita has been getting some rain showers. We've had some lightning strikes. No reports of hail in the lower elevations, but very likely some light hail fell at Glade Park and light hail now falling up in the Book Cliffs and some of the mountainous terrain of central but really western Garfield County. So something to keep in mind. Again, the reminder is get up early and hike and get down by midday because these storms are popping significant during the midday and late afternoon. You can see a little bit more on the mosaic further to the southwest. All this moisture is being transported in from the south. Generally speaking, we have to wait all the way until July to get this influence, and we're getting it now in June. So from 6:30 until about 10:30, we expect more rain showers. So during the evening, things are kind of slowing. We still have pop-ups, but I think we'll get another kick of energy coming at us from the Four Corners region. This is going to migrate in from Cortez, and it should pass through the Tri-County area, the Uncompahgre Valley and the Grand Valley, should pass through around the 10 o'clock hour tonight. Of course, leading into the 10 o'clock hour, that means 9 p.m. to about 10:30. We have that chance with the timing issues. After that, things go quiet, and then we start it all over again tomorrow. So basically, our rain chances today were always expected to be about from 3 p.m. until 9 p.m. You can see the plus or minus there. Tomorrow, it goes from about 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. So little differences, but storms nonetheless, and those storms tomorrow afternoon will again fire over the mountain terrain and drift over the valleys, and we have a much better chance at getting rain in the bucket in the valleys tomorrow afternoon. We don't need it. We don't have any deficits. It'd be nice to add to what we have as a surplus. Speaking of adding, when those rain showers hit the mountains and they hit the drainages and come down to the rivers, that adds to the flow. Now, the good news is last week we were 35,000 cubic feet per second. This week we're only 20,000 cubic feet per second. This time last year we were running about 8,000 for the Colorado River at the state line, Utah-Colorado state line. Still, though, dangerous situation. It's going to make for great rafting this summer. Make sure you do so safely. Make sure you have professional influence, whether it's training or reminders on to wear safety devices, because you're going to find yourself in a scenario. Our scenario, well, there's a couple things. One thing missing is the big blue H off towards the east of us in the central time zone. That's actually contributing Gulf of Mexico moisture, GOM, that is riding up into the Front Range and along the divide and adding to the moisture influence from our eastern Pacific source region, courtesy of a low pressure system. So that's a scenario, that conveyor belt low to the west, high to the east. That conveyor belt conversation is something I usually wait until mid and late July to talk about. And even then, it's not a guarantee for rain showers, but it's a great setup to be in right now. We're catching that southern fetch of moisture, driving in from the southern zones to the northern zones. Low pressure system tomorrow afternoon. Not a whole lot of movement, but and it will continue to drift slowly to the north, and another low pressure system will set up over the weekend, but it will kick out rounds of energy, little spokes. Think of that like a wagon wheel with spokes, and one or two of those spokes will break loose and swing right through the Four Corners region. That's an energy kick, and that's what's going to help lift some of our storms. And really, we get one of those tonight around the 9 o'clock hour for storms. We'll see a couple more tomorrow afternoon with storms, because that low pressure system will never actually pass through our region. But nonetheless, the energy, that's what's going to help with some of our storms. Usually rely on the heat to get storms lifting up. But with this energy coming in, we'll use the mountain zones, and we'll see that energy help materialize some of these storms. So good scenario to be in. And this is going to continue for the next couple of days. It's not going to be a whole lot of movement. Once we get into the Wednesday period, that's where we get our better rain chances. We should get some clearing Wednesday night into Thursday. We won't totally dry out our storm chances on Thursday, mind you. And in fact, even though we have sunshine icons through the upcoming weekend, that doesn't mean we're not going to have afternoon storms, because we will. We'll still have moisture in our atmosphere. It'll still get transported in the mid and upper levels. So we'll still have that potential for storms to kick every afternoon all the way through the weekend. Notice the temperatures, though, with the exception of Wednesday afternoon, low 80s, because of that mostly cloudy conditions and the rain showers, fairly consistent and fairly typical for mid and early June. I should say early and mid-June. Right around the mid-80s is where we should be for this time of the year. So that's not going to change, and that's a very big difference compared to this time last year. Now, Montrose, a subtle dip. Now, there's a bunch of temperature anomalies. We're all stuck on the 79-degree category for Montrose. We should be in the low 80s, but this is indicative of inconsistency with those late afternoon storms. Those storms will pop up and probably influence the temperatures, keeping them below the averages, and on some days go above the averages. But again, fairly consistent run, nothing too hot, and always prep for these late day storms popping and dropping.